Listen up.
It's the #1 voice of the tri-state. I'm #1. It's Cooking Up 215. So let the show begin.
Turn me up.
You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. This is Cooking Up 215, where we get you up close and personal with your favorite artists, entrepreneurs, shakers, and move makers. And today's guest, we have my man Rosco P, Coldchain.
My man.
What's up, my brother?
I'm chilling, man. What's happening?
You know, you's a Philadelphia legend, man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You one of the first to come out of that wave of Philly artists when they were snatching up Philly artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When all the guys was coming down, all them dudes that was popping, and Pharrell sliding through the city.
No doubt.
Everybody looking for all they new rappers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you made your mark.
I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, there may be some people that don't know the story
Okay.
of how you even got the chance to be signed with Pharrell and everything like that.
Okay.
Let's get into it, because I heard you just walked up to him. He was just on the block chilling. You just walked up to
Yeah,
him.
that was my. Well, I was on the block.
Right.
Right, and actually in Southwest Philly,
Right.
and I was doing some things.
Right. Shout out my Southwest guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we carry.
Shout out
You know
to
what I mean?
Southwest.
Gotta do it.
And in short, I seen this guy that I saw in Khalees's video.
Okay.
And I was like, this is the same guy that's in the video. So with that,
So you didn't even know exactly who Pharrell was. Like, you didn't know Pharrell. You was like,
nah, I didn't.
seen dude in the video.
I just seen him in the video.
That's crazy.
So I knew, you know, he had to be somebody.
Right.
But he pulled up in a Porsche, so
Right.
it was pretty obvious he was somebody.
Yeah.
And he was surveying a block for Benny Boone to do a video for Philly's Most Wanted.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, that's what was going on, and he, I overheard him on the phone. He was saying, yeah, how dudes in Philly was hot, and you know, it's the home of the spitters and all of these different things. And so I was just like, yo, you need to hear Rosco P. Coldchain. And so he peeked over and he was like, who? And I was like, Rosco P. Coldchain, let me go get him for you. And he said, all right, go get him. And I waited. I rolled my weed at the time, rolled my weed up, and he was getting impatient.
What made you just start rolling weed up? Like, while he waiting for Rosco, not knowing Rosco you this whole time, what made you just start rolling weed?
I think it was for effect.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it was, you know, to build the anticipation.
Yeah, yeah.
And finally he was like, yo, where is he? Like, bro, like I'm ready.
Right.
And, you know, I leaned over to him and started rapping in his ear. And he was amazed. He was taken back. And he was like, can you do that again? And I was like, sure, I can do it again. Not knowing that he was going to, like, pit me up against, at that time, some of the hottest rappers in the city. Yeah. And so afterwards, before he left, he was like, yo, bro, like, give you this number.
Right.
Make sure you call me.
And when you say put you up against some of the hottest rappers in the city, explain.
I mean, at that time, Major Figures was pretty much the dopest. But it was other rappers that was hot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to like the E-Nesses and.
So you saying like he was going to be comparing you to everybody?
We're competing.
He had you competing.
In the sense, yeah, it was a bunch of rappers like, you know, you all get in a cypher and you all start rapping and it wasn't necessarily a battle, but dudes knew. You know what I mean?
So y'all had a cypher?
Yeah, it was a cypher.
It was a physical cypher. You there, E-Nuts
there, Ness, if I'm not mistaken. I know Figures was definitely there.
Sheesh.
And
this was a public situation?
This was a public situation. This was, yeah, we was for about an hour.
They just called everybody like, yo, bring your hottest spitters.
It wasn't necessarily that. It was everybody knew that Most Wanted was having a video shoot.
Oh, okay.
So the city was coming through to show support.
Right, right.
But in the midst of them showing support, the realization like, yo, this is a big thing, and who is this important dude standing here who's trying to get everybody to. And so dudes started rapping, and whoever knew who this guy was, started rapping. Put it like that.
Right. somebody knew it was Pharrell, I'm gonna shoot my shot.
Some people knew that it was Pharrell and they gonna shoot their shot.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? So that's how they went.
And you still came out
on top.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's hard.
No doubt.
That's crazy. And I guess Pharrell definitely, you know, he's one of a unique taste in a sense. Yeah. And I could say that you definitely got a unique style, especially being from Philly. I think Philly, we do breed uniqueness in a sense. Yeah. Like we got a lot of niggas that could spit regular. Yeah. You know what I mean? We definitely got some Andre 3000s and some, you know what I mean, poetic people. We got our Tierra Wax. You know what I mean? We got some people that could really get vicious with it. And you definitely had a, how would I say, like it stood out on its own. It wasn't a style that anybody else could really emulate. And you could definitely say that you ain't steal it from nobody else.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? It was different and it still was raw at the same time. Right. So I think that shit was definitely hard.
Thank you, homie.
You know what I mean? Definitely. So you just came home after doing 14 years. Yeah. How soon after meeting Pharrell that you got sent to do this bid?
Ah, man, years later.
It was years later?
Yeah, it was about, I met Pharrell, what, 2000? So we saying 8 years later.
8 years later?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was that long.
Yeah, it was 8 years later.
Okay. I had this feeling like it was like,
it was like
he
yesterday.
Got in this situation after, you know what I mean?
Nah, I was getting caught up in like multiple stupid little joints. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the big Bobowski hit me in 2008. Okay. Yeah. And
I didn't do no research on it. I wanted to, you know what I mean? I ain't want to be in your business. I'd rather we had a conversation if it's something we wanted to talk about.
Not too much in depth because it ain't for everybody. Somebody lost their life.
Not the whole thing. But, so just what was it? So what was the thing?
It was a murder.
It was a murder.
Yeah, third-degree murder.
I don't ask niggas details.
It was unfortunate.
And all that.
It was unfortunate.
But so it was a murder situation and you ended up doing 14 years. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So everybody lost. Everybody was victimized.
Yeah. And it's one of them things like, you know, I got family that been in those situations. Cousin just came home. We did like 9. Same situation. You know, it's always stories. There's always a lot of shit that go along with it. But point blank period, you still lost 14 years.
It's nothing to brag about.
Yeah, and it could have been worse. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, God, it wasn't a situation where you sat down for
life.
Exactly, or 25.
They was trying.
That shit crazy.
Yeah.
So 14 years. How does it feel knowing that you gotta sit that long? Like, what's that feeling?
It's the most, I'm gonna say saddening, but it's numbing almost, right? Like you feel numb to it, like to the point of like you realize that it's said to you. You really feel bad about everybody else if you got a heart. Right, you kind of like you resign to your fate, but now you got to think about everybody else. So I'm not really holding on to my pain more than I'm holding on to like my mother's pain, or my kids' pain, or the people that love me's pain. Like I'm kind of resigned to the fate already because I'm in it.
You in it, yeah.
But when you dealing with like, people that's constantly reminding you when you call, right? Because you got to call home.
Like so when you call home, you're talking to them.
Yeah, so when you call home and you like, yo, listen, they just gave me, and they break out crying. Or, they like, Dad, when you come home and you got to keep telling them you in school. That's like a more,
How long did the school thing last?
The school thing lasts for 14 years.
Oh, so you kept it rocking the whole time?
Well, ultimately.
Okay.
No, the school thing lasted for like 10.
Okay.
And then it got to a point, I guess, it just went without saying.
Right. Okay. It was self-explanatory at some point.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard job, man. It's just like, and I just had like Mike Knox up here. He did it like a vicious 8. it's like, I guess we at that time where everybody that got caught up back in the day kind of making their way back home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy to see people being able to get back out here,
right,
and get to restart your life in a sense. Do you feel like it's a restart? Do you feel like it's a pickup? Like
no, it's definitely it's both.
It's like
it's both.
Yeah.
You restarting your life because you're getting into a new life. Mm-hmm. Nothing is the same as when you left it.
Right.
But if you feel as though that there were some things that needed to be done prior to you leaving the streets, then you're reintroducing yourself to it and you're finishing the mission.
Right.
So my thing is more or less I'm completing the mission in which I started.
So it's like you get back on the mission. The biggest thing I always talk about when people sit down and do these business, the fact that you lose all that time when you on your mission to complete your dreams and your goals.
Right.
And I feel like, man, that got to be hard when you coming off of something that was major. Like you signed to somebody, he doing major things.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on in life, and then you sitting in like damn near limbo.
Purgatory.
Yeah, you just floating and waiting to be able to go back out and finish making your mark again. And do you feel as though it puts an even bigger battery in your back? Like, do you feel even more driven, whereas though you gotta make this shit worth something now? You really gotta go hard. You gotta make up for all that lost time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
not necessarily lost time and not making up for lost time. But you definitely have a chip on your shoulder in terms of showing people that you can be and live up to your potential of what you were expected to do back then.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I was expected to go platinum. I was expected to do certain things that I didn't do. They were waiting. Like my whole hood, the city
was waiting on that.
Was waiting. So I let a lot of people down, and it's not necessarily for you anymore.
Right.
It's for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because now I have to live up to a certain thing in myself to say, okay, damn, like, I wouldn't be me if I didn't try again.
Right.
Like, I got to look in that mirror and say, all right, I gave it my all. Yeah. So that's how I'm riding on that.
You're giving it your all. So coming home, was there, like, how was it received? The fact that you was home, was everybody waiting on you to get back on the horse? People just, hey, good to see you, moving on, like.
I think it was, again, you hitting valid points. I think it was a mixture of both. I think you had more people definitely like, yo, we want you back.
Right.
It was a thing of like urgency in which I wasn't.
That urgent?
Nah, because people didn't understand what I was going through psychologically. And I'm still going through psychologically.
Explain it, because I was about to say, like, so is it like that shift between finally being out here?
Yeah.
Like, and you gotta mentally adjust?
Super.
Is it like an institutionalized situation?
Yeah.
And you feel you?
That's exactly what it is. I still have issues with being around people.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm
I don't think
like,
people think about that shit or like even recognize that it's a real, you know what I mean? Like how people go so hard about how depression is a real thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they don't talk about how you could come home after doing X amount of time and that shit really have long-term effects on you.
Right.
And how you deal with people, how you deal with certain shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? How you handle things. So how have you been handling and dealing with it? Because you only been on, what, 4 months?
4 months.
That's crazy in itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You out here, you already sticking and moving. I'm not your first interview.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No
you
doubt,
dropping
no
freestyles.
Doubt.
It's
that
like,
was preparation though, bro.
Yeah.
Like you gotta use self-manifestation and everything. So
that's big facts.
You can't be afraid to get out there. I'm forcing it physically, mentally.
Right. Cause you, like you said though, you gotta manifest it. So if you don't start pushing that gas and pushing that pedal, and it ain't gonna move itself. It ain't gonna
move the needle.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how that's going.
So what's up with Pharrell?
Pharrell solid.
Pharrell solid.
Yes, Pharrell solid. Obviously he's in a different place now, right? Family, more money.
Right.
You know, more status.
Yeah, different position. I don't even think he moved the same musically as he used to.
He doesn't.
Right.
And so, I mean, you know, in terms of life, he's good.
Right. You
know what I'm saying?
Real
like,
good.
He's very good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, do you have plans on, are y'all getting back in the lab together? Is there a seat for you on his situation?
Eventually.
Or is one of them things where you just got to put the work in and whatever happens,
It's that too.
Right.
Yo, you like sliding that fine line.
That fine line where all that shit kind of counts, right?
Yeah. No, it's both. Dudes, you know, you got to understand when you get into the game, regardless of how much a dude is your friend, you're still an investment.
Big facts.
So you can't be a liability. And so at once upon a time, that's what it was with me.
That you was a liability.
I was a liability. I was a wild card.
Right.
So, you know, the love will make you stay. Now the business will make you be like, nah, man, I ain't investing in Rosco P. Coldchain. This thing.
Right.
Right, but the love made him stay because he knows me as a human being, as his man. But you just don't want to invest in it. So now you have to say, what is he going to do different?
Right.
We got to see if he liable to go to jail in another 4 months.
And you got to show him that you're different.
You got to show him.
Right. Yeah. So being out here, going through what you went through mentally, do you feel like a different person? Like the person you was before you went in versus now, is this a different Rosco P?
Yes.
Okay.
Completely.
Did you ever like look back and feel some way about decisions you made in the past?
Of course.
Okay. Some people live on it, stand on it, think, you know, and wholeheartedly.
And what though? It's depending on circumstance.
It is circumstantial.
Everything
it's
is
just like, you know, it's just one of them things where it's like so much was riding. You done did 14 years. It's almost like how we got so much shit going on right now about dudes and telling and flipping and you know what I mean? Is it crazy to not want to spend 14 years behind bars? Would you had changed situations or did shit differently to avoid that? And if you got cats out here that act like standing tall and doing that dime is the sweet, easy choice. Is it?
Well, listen, that's circumstantial also. Because you if you live in a certain life, you know not to you feel me?
Right.
Don't nobody want to do the time. You still gotta be a man.
You still gotta stand on what you did.
But in certain instances, do I blame dude for doing whatever he did?
Right.
See, it's always a small fine print with anything you do.
And I think that's the problem too. I think so many things, like you said, everything is circumstantial. So depending on the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Certain shit matters more than others and everything like
matters
that. But
more than others. Yeah. But you know, if you signed up for it,
what come with it? That's big facts. That's big facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's big facts. So you back home. You ready to get to work. Do you have a plan with everything that you about to start doing right now? Or you just rolling still?
I got a plan. We got that?
Yeah, that's
right. I got a plan, but you know, plans change. So I gotta stay fluid like water. But really the goal right now is for everything to happen organically. But I know my body of work is so much better than others. And it's not to like ride my own horse, but it's like it was a time to where I wasn't so hubris in how I looked at myself, or so prideful in how I looked at my music and my art. Because I didn't want to see myself as a rapper.
Right.
You know,
at one point you said it was like it wasn't the cool thing to be.
It wasn't.
So you was trying to keep it low.
Right.
It's like you just sitting on all this talent. You could really spit. You
Right.
like you in your back room just writing this shit and then not telling nobody that you writing this shit.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that's how that went. So now I don't I own up to my art.
You embrace it.
I embrace it.
Right.
So I know I'm better than dudes, and I know the message that I'm sending is better than dudes, and I know, you know, and not even, you know, I'm not trying to. I'm very competitive in my spirit, so this is not directed to anybody specific.
It's just a natural thing.
Right.
Right.
But what I do know is, you know, I'm in the best shape of my life mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that I do is going to be solid and impactful. And so that's what that's my plan in terms of my art and my agenda.
And so what's your message now?
I just want to, really my message is more or less, yo, like, do better for yourself.
Right.
Like, just do better. Like, you think you can't do something until you do it. Until you placed in the situation to do it.
Right, and then you realize it was doable.
And then you realize it was doable.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just figure that out ahead of time?
Just strive for that shit from the rip.
Right. And so a lot of the times, us in these urban communities, or dudes from broken homes and households, feel as though that they can't do something because they lack the self-esteem or the motivation to do it. But you got to understand that you're the controller of your own destiny, aside of God, if you believe in him or not.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to realize, okay, if I got to get this bill paid, who gonna pay it for me? I got to pay it for me. So that means I got to get out there and do something to pay it.
Big fact. So
hopefully, you know, in that you start to realize other things opposed to the negative way to do it.
Right.
Right? We all got to find different ways on how to approach things. And I'm not knocking anybody's way on how to approach things. However, I saw that other side, and not from a standpoint of a year or two to where I can sit here and, you know, big up it or take it as like a patch or a badge of honor.
Right.
I saw that joint from like 14 years, and the hardest dudes in the world was walking around, or your hero on the street level was walking around like with their head down.
Right.
And their chin wasn't up and their chest wasn't out. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw that part. You feel me?
That's the part they don't ever get to see.
Yeah, and they like, I'm changing my life.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm at. I'm trying to reach those people.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm glad you on it.
Yeah.
You on it. That's all I want to see and hear is, you know, brothers, take that sit down and come out. I always say, man, you do all that time and you don't come out here with your head on right and ready to do some good and see some good and make something of yourself. All that shit was a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't build nothing necessarily in there. All you can do is build yourself mentally, spiritually.
And people don't take time out.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only time you get to yourself now. Now this is like a self-reflection time. It's time to work on you. It's probably in the worst conditions ever to do it, but that's the time. You know what I mean? So I feel like you gotta come out and you gotta be a different person. You gotta be a better person. Like
you should be.
You should be, in a sense. It's like you not, man. You just wasted your own time. That shit don't make no sense. So I'm glad to see you on it. You know, I know you hungry. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm starving.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we got out the jail part.
Yeah.
And then we gonna have a good loose conversation.
All right, let's go ahead.
That's all. So, you know, it's time we get into that food. You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth.
Yep.
Got my man Rosco P.
Rosco P. Coldchain
with me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We right back. Let's go.
Yep.
It's our favorite part of the show.
That's your favorite?
Yes, sir.
Ah, chef, what you got cooking?
You already know.
Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. It is my favorite part of the show. It is time to get into that food. And today's chef, we has Nafisa Unique Bites. What's up, Feast?
What's up, Smooth?
Listen, man, me and Feast go way back. You know what I'm saying? We one of the city's original runners. We be around. You know what I'm saying? Those that know. But Feast always been a person of, you know, delicacies. She had a food truck. She been in bars. Food always amazing. Feast, what you got for me right now?
Well, today we have steak Alfredo, fried shrimp, asparagus, and a dinner roll.
Okay. And you ain't telling about the fried lamb.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How you gonna leave the fried lamb?
And we have fried lamb also.
Yeah, I'm talking real fried lamb.
Marinated and fried. It's
Deep
really
fried
delicious.
lamb chop. You know what I'm saying? Like this could be on a KFC menu. Deep fried type lamb chop. It's looking
No,
good.
that could be on steak 48.
Yeah, steak 48, KFC. KFC might give you the bigger bag. They everywhere. They're a conglomerate. You know what I mean? It might be all over the country.
How about be on my menu when I get to the restaurant?
There you go. Tell them. So you working on a restaurant right now?
Yes.
Tell them where they can find you, how they can reach you. I know you do catering.
Yeah.
The celebrities fly you out. You know what I mean? Tell them what you get into so in case they want some of your service, they could book you.
You can tell them. Sorry.
Look, she want to tell me to tell them.
Well, I do personal catering. I do private chef jobs. Of course, I fly out with different customers, not just celebrities.
Everybody, but you know.
And I do have a deli operation. I'm located at 5500 Rising Sun every day. Literally every day, 5 to 1 a.m.
There you go, 5 to 1, Rising Sun. I got skills. Listen, this is Nafisa Unique Bites. Do you got an Instagram?
Yes, at Nafisa Unique Bites and at Nafisa Jamila. Nafisa _ Jamila is my personal page. My food page is Nafisa Unique Bites.
Yeah, she said she dating, so hit up the Nafisa
I'm
Jamila
single.
if you know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
dating.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Come right though. Don't come wrong. We want to come see you. You already know who it is. Your boy Smooth. It's Nafisa Unique Bites. It's cooking up 2 and 5. Let's get back to the show. Let's go. Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. We still got Rosco P with us. Time to get back to the show. Listen, Nafisa came through.
Yes, she did.
Nafisa Unique Bites. I need to say it a million times over because this shit smells and looks good. Listen,
it looks
this
delicious.
the time, baby. Get your fork.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's right here.
We about to, let the world know what this thing say hit for. That's all.
Steak Alfredo. I never even
she got the steak Alfredo.
attempted to have something like this.
With the fried lamb chop.
Let's have that.
It's
Bismillah.
anything.
Oh, this is delicious. I ain't even had the meat yet.
Hit him.
Oh yeah, this is delicious.
It's good. We eating good.
So let me ask you this: is the flour edible? Can we eat the flour?
Most likely it is.
Yeah, I'm in the garnish.
If Fisa carrying it, how I know how Fisa carrying it, most likely you can eat that too.
All right, we gonna eat the flour. Don't eat the flour. Don't eat the flour.
She ain't putting nothing on your plate you can't eat.
This is delicious.
Yeah, that thing hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some of this asparagus.
I was going for the same thing.
I'm gonna have some of that. Stay healthy.
That thing well seasoned. That thing just right.
Delicious.
Some people, man, they don't know how to do the asparagus, man. It takes some real
No,
brothers and sisters to get the asparagus.
you gotta really know how to cook the asparagus.
Yeah.
You got all the nutrients in them.
Yeah, them other folks don't. They don't be doing it right.
Tell me how your lamb chops taste.
Listen, you see this joint? Yeah.
It looks crispy.
I feel like Fred Flintstone right now about to bite into this joint.
I'm gonna try this shrimp.
Bam, bam. Y'all hear that crunch?
Delicious.
Little ASMR for y'all. I know y'all heard
Not
it.
ASMR.
They hear that joint.
This joint, excellent.
Everything. She been racing me with the fries, man.
Nah, I was telling her.
With the sweet sour chili sauce. You want
See,
a
yeah,
sauce,
you
know
make
what I
this.
mean?
You got me slip. It's stuffing.
No.
It was stuffing the sauce.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that far from me, man. That
No.
drizzle the sauce on the boy, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Let's see what this hitting for.
I wonder if she made this from scratch. I wonder if she went to Chile and got
the sauce.
and just dug it out the ground.
Did all that.
Yeah.
Flew back over the fresh ingredients.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing crazy, bro.
You've been out here, right? You done did a few interviews since you've been back home.
Yeah.
Probably did a few before you went.
Yep.
Any interviews treat you like this?
No.
Never had this type of friend.
This is decadence.
What's special?
This is decadence.
Y'all keep sleeping on the show,
Yeah,
right?
this is great.
Y'all understand? We really out here.
Yeah.
Setting standards.
No, you raise the bar high, baby.
The bar is high over here.
The bar is high, baby.
We don't just do anything.
Yeah, ain't no doubt.
We don't just bring anybody to cook. Now, Feature came and laid it down.
Yeah, Fisa did that.
Those in the city know. They know.
Those other places also.
Yeah, they know what's up. But yeah, this shit's so good, it's hard to not talk about it.
So let me ask you a question. Let me be the interviewer.
I'm listening.
What made you start this show? Like, what possessed you to start this show?
Well, I feel like, in the city of Philly where we got, first off, I used to do music. And at some point, I was getting a little older.
Hold up.
You know what I mean?
What was your rap name, brother?
It was still Smooth. I was
because he's always smooth.
I was always smooth.
Okay.
My man,
MC like.
Yeah, no. My man bestowed me with the Smooth name, and you know how that go. Somebody bestowed you a Rosco.
Right. Somebody.
And you just rock out with it.
No, it's natural.
Yeah,
no
it's
doubt.
a Philly thing. It's like once you get awarded a nickname for having a certain kind of character,
Yeah.
and motherfucker, you rock with it. That's your name now. You get that joint. It's like certified on the letter at that point.
All right.
I was deemed Smooth, and I've just been rocking out since.
Okay.
But it was like we needed something. Like everybody was trying to rap, but it was like nobody was doing the other jobs. You know what I mean? So at one point I had a camera. So I started shooting videos for my gang because we need videos done.
Right.
So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna buy a camera and I'm gonna shoot our videos.
Okay.
Let them hold it when we shoot mine.
Got it.
But then it was just like, man, we need something deeper. I'm watching Breakfast Club. Everybody and their mom want to get to this point. You got people in the city with stories, with names, with brands that's really popping. We got the Quillies, we got the Meeks, who already had names before they was famous. But they don't have, like, besides the, the Too Raw for the Streets or the, my man, Headshots 5.
Headshots.
Yeah, like besides them type of joints, you wasn't getting no interviews from them for real. Or even then it was still street interviews.
Got it.
Like we needed something that gave everybody the opportunity to share their story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a nice, elegant, vibe, chill situation. It ain't about being street, it ain't about being hood. It's really about just bringing yourself. And that was it. I wanted people to be able to come somewhere, be themselves, and give themselves to the people.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's so important. I seen watching Breakfast Club how you could really make a relationship with a fan through just conversation.
Absolutely.
And I think I realized I was watching the Kevin Gates interview. And I'm not gonna lie, I was judging Kevin Gates before I even heard his music.
Met him, right? Or
I'm looking
not even
at
met him, but
before I even exposed myself to his art,
right.
I was judging him.
Right.
By his face and how he talked. This nigga, deep voice, face full of tattoos. He ignorant.
You stereotyping the
He
shit.
ignorant.
You stereotyping him.
He ignorant from the rip. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That nigga went on Breakfast Club and he was so educated. That shit just opened my eyes up. And it was like I was a fan of him since.
Right.
And it was just like, man, imagine if we had that. Because everybody in our city is deemed as these hood niggas, street niggas. Man, some of the crazy, like the niggas who drilling right now. I had a conversation with Kwani, OT7 Kwani. He do drill music. He popping in the city right now. He pop with like Leaf Ward and them. They on the same team. Okay. He educated. Like, and not like educated on some Harvard shit, but he talk in a manner, you know what I mean? Like a grown man, he don't talk like no young boy saying a whole bunch of dumb shit. Yeah, he could really speak. Yeah. And he really respectful. He really about his family. He really about his shit. And it was just like, yo, if you judge motherfuckers just based off what you see, you never really truly get to know them.
Absolutely. It's
so you
almost
gotta
like,
give them more.
It's almost like, you ever see David Chappelle? You seen David Chappelle? Mm-hmm. In an episode where they show Little John. Yeah. And he started talking, yeah. And then when he started, then when it's time for him to really talk, he started talking like really eloquently, like, yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I get it, bro.
Motherfuckers look at you crazy. Cause they look at you and that's just, man, that's what's so much in our city because we do like to look a certain way. We carry ourselves a certain way and it's just part of how we raised. It's, especially back in the day, it was our demeanor. You know, state property coats, baggy dickies.
Right. You
wouldn't know how a nigga really act when you really sit them down.
Right.
So it just was like, I want to give people that opportunity to build that connection with their fans.
Absolutely.
I understood how important that was. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be part of that.
Well, you're doing it, man. You're doing it on a very, very respectable, honorable, civil way in which will allow the peoples that be in corporations and every other person to realize you just not a nigga.
Right. And that's what I want them to realize with everybody. Everybody just not niggas.
Right.
You know what I mean? We really smart over here.
Right.
We really know what the bigger picture is.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
That's it.
Well, the bigger picture right now is this damn food.
This food, right?
Yeah, so I'm ready to keep digging in.
Well, I really think that's the problem, though, man. We really got a world, like I said, even I did it to Kevin Gates, where everybody look at us and they assume so much from the rip.
Yeah.
And it's like as much as we hate to admit it, we all do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We see niggas and look at niggas like, yo, this nigga, he about to be on nut shit. He about to be on turkey. Yeah. But we assume why somebody out here doing it. We assume when you see a nigga out here selling drugs, that he's selling drugs for nut shit. You know, he just out here doing what he doing. You don't know he got 3 kids and the baby mom in the crib and his mom ain't got this and got that. You don't know what people's circumstances be for why they be how they be.
I think that's my whole thing. I'm not knocking what anybody does. What you do is you try to bring a new perspective. So if you're selling drugs, I get it. But why?
Right.
You're not just doing it to impress somebody, are you? Right? Because the game is not to continue to just do it just to do it or to remain in it. The game is because you had to do it out of necessity to get out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so what people do, they get caught up in the fad of it. And now you just want to do it because everybody else is doing it, which makes you a follower, right? You're not doing it because, you know, you're trying to pay your mama bill and all y'all was broke, and you're not doing it because, you know, this was a forced hand. You're doing it because my homie was doing it, so I'm going to do it. Or, you know, I needed some sneakers at the time, but for real, you know, I could have got it another way.
And the sad truth is a lot of people do it because it's a fad.
It's a fad.
It's a cool thing, or is, you know, just to say you was a hustler was the shit. And half the time, you know what I hate too? What I used to always differentiate myself with certain niggas was like back in the day, like when I was in school, when I was selling shit. I'm a real hustler. I done sold sneakers. These motherfuckers out here that know me for selling sneakers. So I sell glasses. Feasting on me for selling glasses.
Right.
Right now I'm selling y'all a podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm a motherfucking hustler. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Yeah.
And some niggas think just a hustler just was you out here and you sold a couple bags of weed or a little coke or whatever you get your hands on. You really ain't hustling. If you can't do that shit, you ain't what? You can't eat now? I'ma eat regardless.
No doubt.
I got to sell water. Motherfucker, we selling water.
That's right.
It's gonna come in different forms too. I got ice, snow cones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Water.
You know what I mean?
Cold
like
water.
I'm gonna make that shit work. So it's like you don't gotta be selling drugs to be a hustler.
Right.
It's about getting a bag and being smart with it. It's about being able to apply yourself any manner necessary in order to get your funds right.
Right.
I think that should be the definition of a hustler.
It is.
Being able to apply yourself in any manner necessary to get your funds right. Ain't about selling drugs and shit like that. And niggas think, oh, I'm a hustler, I'm out here, yada yada. When you tell a shorty that shit cool, that shit don't go.
But see,
you know what I mean? It don't last.
But
forever.
see, that goes for interpretation, right? Everything is built on interpretation. So now, your interpretation of hustler may be everything, all encompassing. You just getting some money. I'll sell anything. It doesn't necessarily matter.
Right.
When another person's interpretation of hustling may be simply, get me some work, get some guns, and this is what we doing. Not realizing that in mixing the two, you're jeopardizing the whole factor of being a hustler. Right? Because now if I have to shoot you or bring some violence to, we already understand it's the game. We're not knocking that.
Right.
It's just a new way of thinking. If I have to do something to you in order for me to get the money that I'm trying to accrue or acquire, excuse me, then I'm putting myself at risk to go to jail on a larger volume, on a larger scale.
Right. Over top of just the hustling
Just
side
the hustling
of shit.
side of shit.
Right.
And so this is the thing I think needs to be exposed that nobody's really talking about. The people that are doing it just to do it, it's corny. That's the era we in. And I ain't really, again, I ain't hating on the youngsters because the youngsters, they probably hated on us when we came in the game.
Right.
Oh, them little niggas was crazy, man. Them niggas, man, I ain't, man. Them little motherfuckers, oh, man, smooth, that motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's how they was with us. But in a point, they had a point. Right? The difference was it was less violence, more money. And if you got violent, it was over the money. Now it's violence because you said something online. And this dude could have just been an internet gangster. He just could have been somebody that just was online like, yeah, man, I'm going to get you. I'm going to do something. Could have been pumping the whole time. Could have been faking it. But he still got smoked for what he said online.
Yeah, they ain't playing with it.
That's the difference.
Yeah. So you being around back then and really out here moving back then.
Yeah.
So like you was out here before the deal.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though when it come down to niggas getting busy and it being violent out here, is it crazier now or was it always crazy?
It's crazier now.
Crazier now, right?
Yeah, I seen somebody get drilled on personally since I've been home.
Damn.
And it wasn't no regular drill, like cuz stuck the joint out the window, shot the car up, loaded back up, stuck it back out, shot the car up again. You knew it was about 60, cuz had a switch on the back of it. Seen the smoke coming out the, I ain't lying. So to say that is to say, that ain't saying that it didn't happen then, but it's just so much more normalized now.
Right.
This is something that you almost expect to see.
And it's like you just said though, the way you just said like, main man loaded it back up, he had a switch on it. It's overkill now.
It's overkill.
I definitely seen something where somebody was saying, I don't know what it was, I think it was on Mav Hoffa joint. Matter of fact, shout out Mav Hoffa, Tony Yayo. Tony was on it, he was like, yeah. Murder was saying like shit been, niggas been getting busy. And niggas always been getting busy. Like you heard shots sometimes when you was a young boy. But I feel like my kids hear shots so much that my 3-year-old daughter, she 4 now, but even when she was 3, she was recognizing what shots was.
Right.
And it's to the point where you doing a little duck. You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
even a big duck.
It ain't even a big duck. It's a little duck. Shit comes so much, you like, you just like, you know what I mean?
But
You
that's
flinch
not-
a little bit,
yeah,
you go
that's
back
not
to
cool.
watching TV. And that's how desensitized we is to the shit. But then it's like, shit is overkill now. Like, you talk, niggas loading up, chopping down. I'm talking about, man, you watch them videos.
It's crazy.
It ain't about just getting you done. The one to the biscuit, you knew he was done. You could see he was done.
Some of the one to the
You
biscuit.
put the whole joint in it.
In this biscuit.
Where you putting it in the street now. You
Yeah.
left a dent in the concrete where you did it at. You trying to leave a mark. You niggas ain't even out here just to get whatever you trying to get. You trying to make a statement. You know what I mean? Like, it's at that point where it's like, y'all, they having conversations of who shot the most bullets at this point. it was just recently some shit in West Philly. The niggas was in a little Durango or something. I think like 3 of them got caught. But they had the double drums with the switch at the bottom. I don't even know if they hit anybody. It was by Malcolm X Park. Shot the whole shit up. 100-something shots. Why you niggas need so many bullets? It's like,
I get it.
It's really to make a statement.
The thing is that's the thing.
It's going beyond, above and beyond.
I get it. My thing is just thinking. Right? Do I think it's senseless? Do I think it's stupid? Fucking right. Right? Because you realize later on, don't none of that amount to nothing later on down the line. Cause like that lawyer money and all the money that you hustle for is gonna go to that. Anything that you ever acquire on the street is gonna go straight to that case, that lawyer, these people, and then 20 years down the line, maybe 30, maybe even 40, if you just, one of those hard rock dudes.
Right.
You're gonna be sitting there like, what did I do? Kids wrong, they coming up, they disrespecting you. Police talking to you like a sucker, the COs, they talking to you like a buster. You can't eat asparagus up there.
Right.
You missing little stuff like asparagus, and I ain't never had this.
Yeah, you eating chopped sausage and onions.
This my first time eating, what's the Alfredo, steak Alfredo. I wasn't even eating that when I was out.
Before.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't do nothing. So you imagine the small things, the simple things in life, and you can't have it. And so when you get that and when you realize I have nothing. Now, if you never had nothing, you can't miss it. So some dudes that ain't never had shit.
That might be part of the problem.
It's a big part of the problem. The only thing you ever did was shoot something.
Yeah. We got a lot of niggas who ain't got nothing.
They never had shit.
They not even looking for shit like that. You know
what
I mean? They looking for what they got. And they getting it right now. They want the street shit. Look a little good.
It looks great.
Little credit on your joint, on your report card.
That's it.
You put a little work in.
I got a stamp. I can look at the news and look at my work. I can go on Philly Reddit.
And they cool with that, yeah. And it's like, and my thing is though, a lot of times it's like, man, half this shit, we really see the back and forth. So like I said, you could watch everything play out. Right. So you could see how y'all caught somebody. And you really see how he caught your mans. Yeah. So it's like y'all really playing Russian roulette because you don't know who gonna get caught next. Yeah. And you cool with being in the mix of that. It ain't like I feel like back in the day when niggas had shit, it was like you did go through some shit. You might go through it one time. It's a back and forth joint. Catch Rosco out. Yeah. It's an exchange. Yep. Whatever go down. But after that, if it ain't nothing crazy,
if it ain't nothing too crazy,
we kind of move on with our lives.
Somebody it's gonna be an intermediator.
Right.
A big homie.
Exactly.
And it's gonna be like, yo, that's my young boy, that's my man.
Shit get fixed on, and you go back to getting money.
And then you go back to get money.
And then, niggas got their kid, but these niggas, they really going tit for tat. Kid after kid getting laid out.
Like I said, it's the amount. I think it's just the amount of it. I think it was like, again, it was always that. I just think the amount of the drama and the amount of the killing and the amount of it all, like, come on, like, and not even just the killing, it's just all the nut shit too. Y'all sucker punching, they walking around. I just watched the joint the other day that just knocked out a 76, 78-year-old man.
Was it the Home Depot joint?
Just sucker punched him. No, this joint was like downtown now, City Hall or something. Yeah. It's like, I'm just saying like the level of recklessness.
Right, it's on a different notch.
And so, man, I'm just at a point, like, I'm gonna say what I say. And like I told some other, platforms or whatever, stay the fuck out of my way, man.
Yeah, I definitely think you gotta do that, man.
Just stay out of my way. Everybody just leave me alone.
Yeah, let you do.
Let me do what I'm doing.
Share your message.
I'm sharing my message. I'm spreading my platform. Excuse me. I'm spreading the message on my platform of positivity. And that's just really that. Otherwise, again, if we can, the whole, okay. I was reading a book one time, and Joe, I don't want to get specifically into what it was because I can't quite recall. But I remember reading this book, and it was so heavy, and it was like it got into philanthropy, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason why like millionaires just give all their money away, and they try to, right? And then it got to the meaning of life, and the meaning of life is to change somebody else's life. Like that's the most fulfilling thing you can do.
I heard about that.
Like the most fulfilling thing you can do, right? Because you always want to feel some semblance of wholeness.
Right.
The most fulfilling thing you can do is say, damn, I did this and I changed this person's life. Now, whether you do it in a brash way and want to sit there and boast to everybody that you did it and look like a sucker, that's on you. But, you know, ultimately, you know, that made you feel much more better about yourself.
Right.
So why not change somebody's life for the better, even in or through message? So we got these platforms, this is what we got to do.
Big facts.
This is what you're doing with people that may not, for the voiceless or the people that may have a small voice. These dudes come on your platform and they eat this good food and they sitting there and they busting it up with you or whatever, and they didn't have a light shined on them because, you know, the Breakfast Club didn't want to see them. You giving them that platform to be like, yo, speak your piece, bro. Spread your agenda.
And that's what we gotta understand, man. You could get a little something out this shit before you get to that point. Right. To help you feel appreciated.
Well, I'm hoping you get to that point.
Because we appreciate all that.
I'm hoping you get you be the next Breakfast Club. You feel
I appreciate that, man. I always, you know, speak highly of what we do, and I, you know, like you said, manifestation works, and we working. Right. We pushing. Even to have you here, like for me, that's an accomplishment. You know what I mean? I feel like that's special to me.
I'm nobody.
Nah, man. I think it's different, man. It's like, you know, you went through what you went through, and you stood tall, and here you are back out here to do it again and make it count. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So to success.
Thank you. One more time.
With these good eats.
All right. Well, I'm drinking mine. I've got to hit it on the bottom.
Yeah, one time.
All right. Ah, that was crazy.
So, yeah, man, I look forward to what you bringing. Yeah. So, do you have a tape that you're working on right now? Project?
Yeah. Last Night Should Have Never Happened. The LP. It's going to be comprised of about 8 to 10 songs. Obviously, we live in an age of Ritalin. And these, you know, ADHD guys. So about 8 to 10 songs.
16 ain't it no more.
Nah, 16 ain't it. People do it, but not for me.
Waste of time, I tell people.
Everything.
You gotta be a certain type of person. But shit, even Jay-Z was doing 7 songs. So yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like Drake does shit like that. Cause he gotta give females and niggas something.
Right. Everything's so forgetful now. You know, it's like microwavable. Everything's just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, this shit non-stop.
So, but the LP is gonna be dope. It's basically what happened. Last night should have never happened.
That's hard.
And so I'm giving it all in story form. You know, the things that some interviewers don't ask, you'll find out on
the music.
On the music.
I'm sure that's where you feel more at ease when it comes to telling the story and expressing yourself as well too.
No doubt.
Like it's different when you talking to people. Like I don't even like asking certain questions. So I'm like, certain people probably wonder why they don't get certain interviews out of me.
Right.
Because I'm a person at the end of the day.
Still
you know what I mean? So like so I refuse to be one of them niggas. Like I can't, like Charlamagne now, he don't do shit like that, but Charlamagne back in the day.
Yeah, he was a buster.
Yeah, I can't get like that. And I feel like he understood and he grew into himself. Like, I don't like putting people in those type of positions. So it's like, I'm not asking.
It's just all being grown, man. Let's be mature. Yeah. Everybody ain't mature. And I understand that too. So for the guys that ain't mature, you know, I give you a little bit of, you know, the throwback Coldchain on Last Night Should Have Never Happened. So you know, the debauchery and the,
so you can feel a little bit.
Yeah, so you can feel a little better about yourselves. You know?
Right.
But yeah, Last Night Should Never Happen. And then I have a mixtape coming out with DJ Ismatic.
Okay.
And Ace McClick-Clack, Ace McCloud. Actually, with I'm hoping it's going to be a joint venture. But right now, I'm just getting everything done, getting the blueprint and the landscape right, and a documentary on everything that happened called Goddamn. So we're gonna shop that to like different networks, Tubi, Netflix, and see if that pops. And
all they do is take the work, bro.
Yeah, I'm just put it in,
put
bro.
Put the momentum behind it.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
That's it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I see you out here working.
Yep, keeping it positive, bro.
Right.
Yep,
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that. All right, listen. So you know what I'm saying? You back out here. I need to know your 5 best artists right now. Your top 5 right now.
Man. Where, in the city? Or just all the way around?
I want to say the city, but are you truly tapped into the city to give me that type of answer? Like, are you tapped into what's going on out here?
I'm really not.
Yeah, because I feel like that's going to be a hard jump.
That's a hard jump.
If you had to name somebody from the city, who would you name?
In terms of the newer niggas or like dudes that already got deals?
Somebody that's on fire right now. You can't say no Meek. You know what I mean? You gotta give me somebody that ain't major league, but they might have caught your ear in the last couple months. Oh shit, young boy.
It was 2 dudes that I heard that caught my ear in the last couple months, but it's supposed to be some crazy. And that's the thing. You want to be like him, but then you're like, I don't know if I should see him. But I was listening to the young boy Leak Moss or Leak Ward.
Leaf Ward. Yeah.
Yeah. Leaf Ward. That's his name. Leaf Ward.
Leaf nice. Leaf nice too. I
think
Leaf is like the new age Beanie. If I had to
with
choose
the new
somebody,
flow, like
Bean shit was a little more rough around the edges. Leaf shit, cause Leaf's so cool and calm. But
he just remind me of like one of the little homies, like just like real slick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good young boy. You wouldn't young boy him like, yeah, here, take this. No, you wouldn't do that to him. You'd be like, damn, listen, I got a situation for you. Come on, take this walk with me. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, him. It's a dude. It's a lot of people that you ain't hear of too.
I mean, I might know their name.
It's a dude named Lord Maskoff that I really Maskoff Moose. Lord Maskoff Moose. I think he goes by Lord Maskoff online.
And he from Philly.
He's from Philly.
I'm glad you said. I like to check out new people, so
dude,
I'm gonna look for him.
Dude be giving me a lot. He gives me good energy.
That's hard.
Trap Baby OTH, I like him. I think he's from Philly, but he plays like different towns and stuff like that. But he's hot. And I mean, you know the regulars, the Quillies and the,
right.
You know what I mean? But all right, now we're going to top 5.
Yeah, go give me your energy.
My top 5 right now. Ice with Vezo.
Okay. I really just kind of got put on his shit.
Ice with Vezo. He's 5.
Damn, that asparagus is good. Feel?
No, it's mean, ain't it?
That shit.
Yeah, I did my plate. I ain't even respect it.
That asparagus.
Ice with Vezo 5. And ESTG 4. Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
3. Dirt. 2. You gotta say Meek. 1.
Meek. You gotta say Meek, or you really want it to be Meek? Like
no, I think you got it, and I like it. It feels good. I want it. You know, I would rather put my man Pusha in front, but you asking for Yeah, I gotta put
Push one of my favorite.
No, Push is my favorite.
Like yeah, like
Push is my favorite.
Really like I can't say is my favorite because I think at one point Push was my favorite. At one point the Clips period was my favorite.
Right.
Like, when they that first joint,
think we 20 years in.
That's all
I'm saying.
Yeah. Yo, the Ego joint.
Yeah, that was my joint.
Ego joint was my shit.
That's my joint.
And then what was the other joint?
Which one?
It was the shorty joint, the female joint.
When the last time you heard it? When the last time?
It was on that same album though. It was the joint. Oh my God, I'm mad. I can't figure it out.
I don't know, bro.
Yo, you gotta know what they had the low rider joint on the joint.
What? It was on the video.
Oh
They
my
had
God,
a video,
bro. I feel like they probably do. And I can't think of it right now. We gonna off the screen. I'm gonna play it for you because I can't think of it right now. But it was I think it was like the only female joint they had on there. It was like Ego, and
I remember when the last time you heard it like this.
What? Smoke something get
like
twisted. Nah, that was cool. That's the commercial joint. Like these joints is the joints that niggas probably ain't know unless you really tuned in. That joint is a joint. When I play for people like, yo, this joint is joint.
No, Push is my guy. We talking about people that got less than 20 in.
Right.
We
we talking
new
age shit.
New age shit.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not saying he hasn't transcended.
And that's the reason why I said I can't say Push my top because Push takes
he's already established.
Yeah, he established and he kind of loose with the music. Like I said with Pharrell, like niggas is cool. They do what they do, and sometimes they come out with some shit, but they chilling. Like they ain't out here really fighting and jabbing for this shit.
No, they not. They ain't got to.
Exactly, they ain't got to.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my top 5.
We still got fucking McDonald's checks coming in, probably. Like, you know, off of jingles.
True. You got the jingles and the Arby's and all that.
Yeah, it's a difference. So
yeah.
I would chill too. Like, I'm not gonna be out here wilding with you niggas.
Big checks.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But what's that? So if Meek ain't had to be, then who would it be? Like it.
In the new age.
Yeah, in the new age. Cause my thing, like Meek is like a given. Like you know what I mean? Lil Baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like he
if
knew
it wasn't,
like
if it wasn't, if we want to, because if you say that, then Dirk and Meek is newer. So okay, we want to go newer.
See, Meek ain't new though. Like,
but I mean, he not.
I guess
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
To us, we knew Meek
that's what
for
I mean.
So long.
Right.
So,
but even in the game, like he's not newer. So all right, let's X Meek out. Bam.
Right.
Let's X Dirk out because he's not new either. Bam. Right.
Dirk so like two different people.
Yeah, we know that.
Dirk like came in.
And then he left.
He's fizzled, and then he came back. With dreads, it was a whole new nigga.
Whole new guy. He ain't had no hair, and then he came back. It was a whole new guy. Right?
Nobody ever talks about how Dirk was like.
Let's talk about that. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say if we talking about that, then Baby is in the forefront. Right? So he takes the 1 spot.
Right.
And the 3 spot. No, because it was 2 spot, right? So the 2 spot. This is a hard one. He's in jail, unfortunately. No, so we couldn't even use that.
Who is he?
This is bad.
Pusha-T?
I probably would have said Pooey.
Pusha-T?
I would have probably used Pooey.
I mean, Pusha-T,
I would have said Poo-Poo.
He newly in jail. Yeah. But you know what I mean? His shit definitely was fire though.
No, he was
and
baking.
He dude, his shit was fire.
He was baking.
Pusha-T got all these niggas maxed up. He definitely
you call a COVID mask a Pusha-T.
He got your Pusha-T on.
He got a Pusha-T.
That's when you know a nigga on fire.
This is when you know he's really buzzing.
Yeah. So, when it's no longer ski mask and it's
you in the Pusha-T. You gotta respect the shit.
Yeah. That nigga had a movie. Yeah, so like once he get back out, he gonna be back on fire.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Right. That's a good solid joint. Like I guess when you down, you gotta be in tune. You listening to that music and shit.
I was super in tune, bro. I was listening to 42. I was listening to Kendrick Cole. I was listening to Ab Soul, who people don't even listen to. I was listening to everything.
I like Ab Soul though.
Yeah, he got a good album that's out right now.
I ain't know he putting out a record.
Yeah, he got I think it's gonna do some numbers on a sneak tip. Yeah, Ab Soul got a real decent album right now, but ain't nobody gonna listen. Ain't no,
Yeah.
Right, but yeah.
I probably tap in and see what's
up. Yeah, he got a decent,
like that type of
got a decent job. All right, yeah, so you know what I mean. But yeah, I listened to everything, bro. I was big on jazz. It's funny. So the Grammys was last night, right? Or the few nights or whatever. Yeah. Right? And so Chris Brown was beaten by Robert Glasper. And he went on a tirade about, who the F is Robert Glasper? I got to play a harmonica to win a Grammy. He's doing all that because
that's what Chris Brown said?
That's what he said.
Oh, shit.
Because, dude's a jazz player. And he feels as though nobody knew who he was. I knew who he was.
Right.
I had about 3 of Robert Glasper's albums. Right. He has Black Radio 1, 2, and 3. And it was all jazz, but he had a composition of different singers in the R&B scene and some people you might have not known on the album.
On the album, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so he's really eclectic in terms of how he brings it. But, I'm so left field with my ear that I'll pretty much listen to, I'll pretty much almost listen to anything. Chris Stapleton, you know what I mean? Like,
that's hard.
Some good country.
I think that, and I just realized how many, like, new age people there is making country music.
Yeah, bro.
Like young people, young black people too. Yeah. Like young minorities is out here wholeheartedly making. It's a young boy. Shout out to Breland. Come through, bro. I sent you the DM. Open that joint. Check us out. Decent. And slide through. Breland is from Philly. Okay. He just did he performed at the Ravens game. You know what I mean? It'd be so many people. Country music.
That's decent.
And it's also like a gospel country music because it's almost like it's godly, but it's definitely country.
Right.
And it's in a whole genre of its own. So it's just like we don't be us per se. Like they just got posted on the Shade Room and everybody was like, damn, it's finally good to be embraced for the what we doing and sharing our art the way we do art.
You right.
Like, you know what I mean? Because we only embrace.
I'm gonna tell you. Real quick, right? Our art, obviously, everything was taken from us, right? Rock and roll was taken from us. R&B was taken. Everything was taken from us. So now the last thing that we pretty much put on the map was what? Hip hop.
Right.
And so, the good thing now is we infiltrated pretty much every genre of music. Hip hop is in every genre of music: pop, rock, country. So you have to see a black face. You understand what I'm saying?
It's everywhere.
You have to see a black face.
At this point, we everywhere.
At this point.
Yeah.
So, because it's going to be some type of hip hop incorporated in it. And this ain't saying white people ain't got rhythm and all white men can jump, right? Or can't jump.
Right.
But at the same time, when we talking about, cultural appropriation, right? With hip hop, you can do it with so much because it had a stamp with where it came from.
Right.
So now being as though that it's incorporated in your music, you can't deny this sound.
Right.
So now you can't deny this black kid or this black man or this black girl who's singing this country music over this hip hop tune.
Right.
Or sounding beat with a strumming guitar. Right? It's all psychological. But we infiltrated. You know what I mean? So this is why we got more black people included at the side of the complainer.
We worked our way in.
Yeah, we in there.
We in there.
Yeah, we in there, dog.
For sure.
Yeah.
Not to say they don't do the same with us, so it is what it is.
But that's why I said cultural appropriation. They good for it.
Exactly.
Vanilla Ice did it.
I mean, it'd be a few of them.
I ain't gonna say no names.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm saying? But now it's more receptive and more received for the brother man to do it. Yo, you know who I forgot? Speaking of white men that I like.
Eminem?
Fucking. Well, wait.
Nah, I got
I'm
you.
not saying that.
Nah, I got you. I got you.
Fuck
yeah.
OT Genesis. OT, what's his name? Oh, not OT Genesis.
OT
OT
the
the
Real.
Real.
Yeah, I mean, nice.
What?
He nice. He nice.
What?
He spit.
We was
He
upstate
talk that
listening
shit.
to dude.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, this white boy's crazy.
Yeah. He like M, like dropped off in the hood type shit.
Yeah, but nah, I don't feel like he like M.
No, I ain't saying
feel
he
like-
like
I feel like-
M, but like I'm saying like he
Like
got
what?
bars, but hood bars. You know what M used to spit, but M talk Slim Shady shit. It was
yeah,
like
M
this,
stayed on
he
Slim
talk
Shady
nigga
shit.
OT talk, you know.
No.
You know what I mean?
OT talk
Turnpike
like,
shit.
I was in the car with these guys, you know, and I'm accepted.
With
You
the
know what I'm
school.
saying? I was already accepted. Like
With the
I
school
was
and the
raised
crew.
with them. I fought them.
Yeah.
I whooped some of their asses.
And we really got some of those though. You know how that shit go.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We talking about killers in here.
Yeah. He accepted. He part of the culture. You know how that
Dude.
shit go. You always had that
Dude.
white boy you went to school with.
That-
I think I had a white dude named Steve. You ain't know Steve was
You
white.
ain't even see
You
what?
ain't even know he was white.
Oh, you were almost allowed him to say the word.
Yeah, you ain't even know Steve was
Like
white.
this
This nigga
motherfucker
just
hard
light
as shit. If he say nigga right now, I probably really would let it slide
around, don't even
almost and
flinch.
won't even flinch.
Yeah.
Just
Real
because
rap.
it's Steve.
Because Steve.
Yeah,
Steve man,
so
cool
yeah,
as shit.
dude is pretty hot. Yep.
Listen, man, I'm glad to have you here. I hope you enjoyed yourself, enjoyed the food.
I did.
I definitely enjoyed your time. It was dope. know
Thank
what
you,
mean?
man.
An
I
experience
appreciate you.
for real. And I look forward to see what you got coming up.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out for the project. Let everybody know where to follow you, how to keep up with whatever you got going on and everything like that.
Yeah, everybody can follow me pretty much on Rosco P, Coldchain, everything. Instagram, on YouTube, Rosco P, Coldchain 17. On TikTok, Rosco P, Coldchain 17. On Facebook, Rosco P, Coldchain. Twitter, Rosco P, Coldchain. And yeah, man, just be checking out. Last Night Should Have Never Happened. Coming soon.
Last night should have never happened, man. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, brother.
Glad to have you.
No, thank you.
Rosco P, Coldchain.
Yeah.
It's your boy Smooth. It's Cooking Up 215. We out of here. Let's go.